Ouch. Hello. Today we built this. It is the Morgul Blade Dagger, whatever, from Rings of Power. Very cool. I watched this series right now. To this date, we got the moment I record this, we got October the 6th, and episode 6 is out. Amazing, very cool, and I will talk about this episode in this, I thought. So I won't talk about the build. We'll make a separate video, so this one here will be longer. But I will show the footage of how I'm building it. Meanwhile, I'm talking about this series. So we got a heavy spoiler. Hello, spoiler. I will talk about episode 6, Rings of Power, right now, but not kind of this, I like this, I like that, blah blah blah. I will do this as well. I won't talk about everything, but I'm kind of having a different view or perspective from time to time, because I'm interested in armor. I look at armor, I look at movie mistakes, I look at the making of a movie. I love movies and how they are made, kind of. But as always, how you build this. You only need a glue gun, a lot of glue. In the end, you want to kind of give it some color with watercolors and other adding. I use the silver adding to kind of add the sign from Sauron. You need pieces of wood to make it stable. We will make methods kind of. This is literally just wood, duct tape around, broken, and then you can really bend it and connect it with duct tape. That's literally it. And these here I shape. If you know my Rex video, you know that you can literally sculpture anything. Really easy sculpting, kind of having this. The handle is as well. Yeah, just one cardboard thing. Looks like that. Let's activate the water here. Already spoiler, but I already spoiled you. So I kind of want to try out what you guys want to see. So if you're interested in a normal building video and I did this and blah blah blah, I will make a separate video. But in this video I kind of want to talk about this series, about this episode, because there's a lot to say, a lot of logic things, a lot of not logic things that I simply want to share in connection to this. And yeah, but as always, you can build this. I built it in an hour and a bit. You can do this right now watching this video. You get your cardboard, you get your tape, you get your glue gun, and you start building it. I will show a lot of the footage in this video as well, so you can kind of build while I'm talking. If you don't want to get spoiled, or if you're simply not interested in my opinion, kind of, then just mute the video, watch the footage anyways. If you want to recreate this, it costs like this. Having this in my hands, it costs like less than €1. Like duct tape, wood, paint. Yeah. Alright, so I would say again, heavy spoiler. I will talk about episode 6, Rings of Power now, give my opinion and kind of talk about armor, talk about characters, talk about stupid things and amazing things. I enjoy this series very much. Each Friday I watch it with my father and it's amazing. And yeah, so let's go. And meanwhile you can kind of look at it and it's kind of shiny like that. I have kind of black duct tape there and tape Cenedril. Use a duct tape that is kind of shiny, and then it really looks like obsidian almost. I want to say, I don't know what material, but Arondir is hammering on it and trying to destroy it, and yeah, it doesn't function. This would get destroyed, I think. Alright, so the episode starts and we see a really cool gauntlet of Ada will come back to this later on, where he kind of only has one gauntlet on and the other is somehow lost. But I really like the building style from the gauntlet. I think it's kind of weird that he's calling the orcs his children. Yeah. By the way, I will kind of this here maybe. I don't want YouTube to take down the video. I've informed you I will talk about episode 6 now, and yeah, I'm allowed to do so. Kind of, I won't show any footage or images or whatever. Just me talking and giving my opinion, but also kind of saying what is happening. But I've seen other YouTubers doing this as well, so I assume you're allowed to do this. So yeah, if not, then you can't see this video. But yeah, the orcs look pretty cool. Like the bone and the white skin, it's different than to Lord of the Rings. A few of them, a few others could play in Lord of the Rings as well, but I like this. It was kind of funny when the when Ada is, and by the way, I'm going chronological, like it is like watching the episode right now and going, and each other minute I have something to say, kind of, so I will go through the whole episode and get each time something pops up in my mind and oh, there's a nice detail, or that's not logic, or oh, that's stupid, or whatever, I will say it. So chronological, and kind of you can watch the episode meanwhile and kind of have me commenting it, what I think is cool and what's not cool, and where you see budgets and whatever. So Ada is kind of hyping up his army and saying, yeah, we can do this and let's attack the humans. And I thought it was kind of funny when the one orc is kind of not but, and all the others started. Then they are entering later on the castle, and that was kind of not logic. Like the orcs should smell Arondir and the other people. Like orcs can smell very well. Not logic that they have to search the elk, blah blah blah. Then it was literally tower defense. Like the move from Arondir was perfect, and the balcony kind of blocking the door and tower down, really cool idea, function, whatever. Even though it was pretty bad animated, like the scene where he shoots the arrow and the string and kind of this other thing, it looks like a PC game, computer game, really bad. Then we got kind of graphic. Like till this episode I thought it would be a kid show that kids would be seeing this, but they are already started, and it will keep going like this the whole episode. One orc get kind of splintered through his chest and the other one gets splashed down, and I was already like, okay, this episode maybe they are a little bit more aggressive. And interesting detail, the then Ada is saving Valdrek. He's kind of taking him off there. I already thought an interesting detail. He really doesn't care, of course, not about the other humans, but apparently he has another plan. He certainly did. And yeah, I can't show this right now, but from time to time the music of Numenor, and sometimes it's also the theme of the people, I absolutely love it. Nori's theme, very cool music, and I won't sing now, but the melody I really like. Kind of shot, and now we are on the Numenor ship, and we see a few horses, but only a few, and later on, you know, the big army riding. Yeah, like I'm not sure if it was supposed to be 500 horses or 500 riders. I think they planned 505 boats, 2 got burned, so now 3 boats and 300 riders. But having 300 horses and 300 men on 3 ships, plus the horse armor, which weighs a lot, plus the armor of the men they are carrying with them, plus all the food and whatever. Yeah, these are apparently amazing boats. Apple sharing time between Isildur and the horse, and he doesn't even finish his apple then, but I kind of like that. It's kind of showing the bond between the rider and the horse. And then we see Galadriel's armor, and Galadriel's armor inspired me. I saw, of course, the pics 3 months ago when the series got kind of shown, and kind of interesting are her elbows. I don't even have build elbows, because obviously the ankles are kind of the hardest part of an armor. But yeah, pretty cool. Like your shoulders, of course, from time to time. And it's what I don't understand is why hers is that different. Obviously, character build and blah, but logically wise, he got her sword and her armor at Numenor. Why isn't she having her Numenor armor and Halbrand the same thing? Like Halbrand has then again a complete different armor. I know for character and for story wise and so on that yes, but by the way, watching this might kind of destroy your feeling for this, so you might not want to keep watching, because I can appreciate a show and look for movie mistakes and what is not logic and so on, but I know people who don't care about these things and who simply want to enjoy it, and then it doesn't matter if the armor of Galadriel and Halbrand are completely different than two. It's just details that I see, and yeah, nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make the storyline worse. It's just a detail where I kind of think when the people making this, having $1 billion from Amazon or even more, and they thought about this, and they thought, okay, they are there and they get equipment, and then because they are special, now they have different armor so that the viewer knows, we are special, blah blah blah. Okay. And then we have a pretty good deep talk between Galadriel and Isildur, and I really like this, because till now Galadriel was a small child girl. Man, my brother got killed and I have to be angry all the time and blah blah blah. She was a human with picky ears basically, and I was like, okay, she is already several thousand years old, and we know how she is back in Lord of the Rings. There she's kind of a wizard, like magic and not fighting. So the show has to show that kind of the transformation from a warrior. Nothing wrong with it. I really like it that she has a background of fighting and warrior and so on, but they kind of have to make the development. And on this boat scene, this was like very cool, very wise. I might have known this, that you are a son of blah blah blah. So really liked her character in this sequence. and she, then Isildur is kind of saying, oh, you see already the land, your super cool elvish zoom eyes, they can see already the land. And she's, yeah, in a few minutes you'll too. And then kind of you see the boats and the camera zooms out, and suddenly horizon and the mountains are like there, and it's like, oh, now my human eyes can see this too. I didn't see it a minute ago, but now I can. Okay, cool. Yeah. Then the next shot where I was remarking something was kind of a scene of the map where the queen is sitting on the table, and from time to time in the show they are using this to show the viewer where we are, to kind of have the location, you know, this night map. And I really like it because it's kind of not in the real show, kind of, it's more like, okay, we are there and now we are getting there, kind of a gold rush. Don't know if you know this, but kind of from time to time it gives a better view, no problem with this. But in that scene with the queen, the camera goes over the camera and the viewer thinks again, okay, now we are in a kind of a map scene, but actually it's an actual scene and the hand goes in there. And really like this kind of stylistic thing. And she's using kind of a glass to kind of show where they are going. She's moving it over the map. And it really makes like the map like 1 millimeter bigger, and I'm like, yeah, that's working perfect. Das heißt Lupe, learning English with Jobbers, yeah. And then even through this glass we get perfect transition through the thing. The camera zooms in and we go to this and Arondir is like, I can't destroy it with a hammer. What am I going to do now? Yeah, but I like that transition and kind of the reason why I built this. Then we have a few pretty cool shots of the people preparing. I like this always in movies when kind of your Schleif, your sword, and like normal farmers that never fought before now have to defend and settle up everything. And I really like the vibe of kind of let's do this. We are way less and we have absolutely no chance, but we can try at least, and let's. I don't really understand why they're not simply running away. Like, why do they have to stay in the village? Was there an actual reason? Like, they could have simply kept running. But, okay. Plus, Arondir is kind of... Ada is not allowed to get this dagger. Why would I stay here if I could simply walk away, and while the orcs can't follow? So each day Arondir would get even further. He could go to Elrond, he could go anywhere, but why did they stay in that village? I haven't thought about this yet, but it's kind of not logic. Okay. And you see them kind of climbing on the roof and putting arrows in there and preparing, and woman and man together and all this really cool. And you kind of get the feeling, okay, they have an actual plan, like Arondir is talking and Bonwin is talking, and then this really might work. So Arondir is even spitting while giving his speech, and I kind of divided. I could say now that it wasn't Elvish and convince you that it was bad, but I could also convince you that it's good. I kind of am divided. Like, Legolas wouldn't spit, but at the same time I really like Arondir, amazing actor, and really giving some seriousness to this. And yeah, but I understand why they kept this spitting in there. Then we get this classical, I care about you, my son, and yeah, no, mother, and I want to fight, but no, you are too young, you have to stay inside. It was like Helm's Deep. In Germany we say Helm's Klamm. I think Helm's Klamm clings cooler, but yeah. And then he's like, okay, I have to stay in there. And by the way, the relationship between Theo and Bonwin is more like a sister-brother relationship in my point of view. It's not his mother, I would say. She's way too pretty young, like make it her cousin or whatever. But yeah, no problem with it. But I personally just feel that how they are treating each other, and so this is more like brother sister. Then next we see a pretty they're talking and so on, and I really like Arondir's ring. Like, didn't make a video about this, but this is like way too easy. Wait a second. I really like the link. Really need cardboard. Swimming like this. Duct tape around. I think here kind of black insignias, elvish runes, something like that. And it's really interesting because kind of the longer side is kind of inside. I think it's for the bow, so that he can pull his string or something like this. But yeah. Short craft, short build. Thumbs up, like, give a like, yeah. Yeah, but again, now to Theo and Bonwin, realistically, he would fight, and later he is fighting as well. Like, it doesn't make sense. You have, like, let's say 40 men and one teenager, let's say he's, I don't know, I would say he's 18 or something like this, if he can carry a sword, he will have to fight. Like, it's not logic to say, oh, you are my son and you, if you have to defend, you have to defend and fight. Yeah. Kind of get a lot of references to the Helm's Deep fights from Lord of the Rings, like seeing the orcs and the tension, and they even had a Rambok, learning English with Jonas. Yeah, like it wasn't bad. And then back later, Galadriel arrives with the riders, and the sun is rising. This is like exactly the same like Gandalf with Helm's Deep. It is kind of weird that they are copying it out of the same franchise, which is they are allowed to do this, and I have no problem with it. It's just from time to time they have new ideas and creative ideas, and sometimes they kind of just copy it and show it in a different way with other in another situation. But what's also kind of funny is that now chronologically Gandalf copied Galadriel, because this happens obviously way before. Then we got an incredible stupid scene where Bonwin tries to flint and steel this Wagen, learning English with Jonas, and she wants to light it up, but yeah, it doesn't work, and then the orc is coming, and she's like, and of course this is for building tension, and the viewer needs kind of ups and downs so that the show is exciting and so on, and the people were interesting, but yeah, just okay. And then we got even more graphic, where I already was like, okay, this is where I was thinking, oh, this is a kids show, because we kind of get a triple hit. First, kind of the orc, I think the orc gets hit a little bit, then slash complete, you see everything, the other woman gets slashed completely, and I'm like, okay, whoa, then whoa, and then whoa, because the orc gets slashed from Bonwin, then the light up scene, and yeah, was okay, but big ouch. And kind of you have to imagine, you kind of have the village, and you have seen the orcs, which was amazing to see. Kind of, I really like kind of this mountain and the first light coming up, and then several lights and so on. Of course, it's kind of, I'm assuming they animated it, so you are always, when you see all these torches, that's not real actors, these are like, yeah, but it doesn't make it worse, it's just thinking it's not real, but these lights coming up, you know, and they are kind of walking in the village in a very long line. And now Bonwin activated kind of the fire trap, the, you know, fire here and fire here, so they are trapped. But if they were walking in there, I kind of hardly believe that all orcs were perfectly in this small sector and no one was back here. And then kind of, okay, now we are all trapped. Oh no. Then Arondir starts doing the typical Legolas, like, oh no, there are 100 orcs. I have to kill them all, but I only have 30 arrows, so I will start shooting and kill at least 30 of them so that 70 can still kill me. I mean, there's no really another option. Yeah, but kind of don't just shoot one. I mean, you still, of course they shoot and so on, but keep at least a few arrows, not like Legolas, which was pretty stupid in Hobbit. Then very cool fight scenes, good choreography and geography, and I liked the music very much in that scene. Like, they didn't just use the normal fight scene music, the music amazing. Then we got a Mortal Kombat scene, get over here, because Arondir kind of shooting and stuff, and suddenly an orc is coming and kind of getting him with a chain from that roof, and he gets killed somehow. And Arondir is kind of standing up, and this is like a camera stylistic thing, kind of in it, like with a jump scare where the camera kind of gets woof, and suddenly, because he touches a very big orc, kind of like, I'm Goliath, I'm a big orc, and Arondir doesn't have a weapon, and this big orc, because apparently he's that big, I don't need a weapon, I'm big, I'm strong, I will kill you with my bare hands because I'm that strong, yeah. And yeah, that was pretty dumb. And then they kind of do a WWE wrestling match for like 30-40 seconds, and he gets pushed against the fountain. And yeah, it was okay and good graphic coffee, whatever. But yeah. And then finally Arona finds a weapon, a wood piece, I guess, and he's stabbing this in his eye. And again, me from thinking kids show to okay, throat cut, okay, eye cut, eye stab, and then it kind of gets pulled out, and the black blood is dripping in his mouth. And yes, it adds tension, but I don't think that they are actually human beings, people watching this, thinking that this improves the show. Like, it wouldn't have been necessary. Kind of this elvish, clean, good people, kind of the perfect human in a certain way, and having them, and then now this blood, and yeah, it was disgusting. And also kind of, I have an eye for an eye, we are Biblish now, okay. But of course, Bonwin saves him and everything is fine. And then till this moment, I'm watching it for the first time. And again, heavy spoiler, if till now I haven't said anything super important, but spoiler, watch the episode before you watch this here. Because we thought now the humans won and all orcs got trapped and spawned, and suddenly red blood. And it took me like at least 5 seconds understanding what was going on. This was brilliant. Till then I liked the show, now I love it. We will come to other moments where it was even better, but this was brilliant. I can't really understand how this was kind of like, if I would have been there, forced by the orcs in an armor, fighting my own people, even though I kind of chose now to be evil and to follow Sauron and blah 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 blah, and Baldrag is doing weird stuff and so on, I would have at least said, hey, I'm a human, I only have to wear orc armor, and I wouldn't have fought against my own people. But yeah, but it was brilliant move. And then it gets worse, and everyone is kind of, now we are in big trouble, and the orcs have now won. And this scene, black forest, white orcs, camera, kind of like this, and they are walking towards you. Brilliant, really enjoyed this stylistic movie scene. Then Arondi's face suddenly is clean again, like the blood we just had seconds before now. Apparently the elvish skin has a peeling effect. Yeah, okay. Now face again, yeah. And then the first arrow. And we were watching this and shit. Okay. Ada isn't that stupid. He didn't send his orcs in there, his children. Now we are in a really bad situation. Really tension, really cool. And Bonwin gets shot. And I was like, okay, wow, are we in Game of Thrones? And are we actually killing now main characters? That they might do it, but at the same time, you kind of know that she will destroy the wife. It's like, Grogu, where is he? Grogu, he won't die in the next seasons. He's a money magnet. People love him. He has plot armor in its finest, and so does Bonwin, of course. But they put it a lot of scenes where you think she might die in, and it was pretty good. I thought for a few minutes that she actually might die, because you really see the arrow and it gets broken and stuff, and you see the wounds, and again, like, kids show, okay, we are now showing wounds and blood and putting fire on, and okay, yeah, it doesn't improve the show, but it makes it more adult in a certain way. Like, but at the same time, I don't really understand why Amazon did it financially, meaning obviously they want to make as much money as possible, as many viewers, and with that scene, or these scenes, they eliminated all children watching this. So they kind of sacrificed a lot of viewers for giving more brutality. Yeah, that's economic wise, business, this interesting decision. I don't fully understand it, but okay. And then Bronwyn kind of gets carried in with her arrow, and of course she survives, but while they are walking in, 2 other people get shot and they are instantly dead, and you are like, okay, you are not important, you're not important, okay. Yeah, it's like, yeah, movie logic. Then, this was like the lowest moment in the whole episode, in my opinion. She is like, I'm a perfect main character, and I'm so please, I'm bleeding and I'm probably going to die, but help this man first. And Theo is like, okay, I will help him. Oh no, he's dead. Okay, now I help you. Realistically, having an arrow there, you wouldn't even be able to say that. You would just and not say help him and not me because I'm too good, I'm too perfect. Then we have kind of this scene with sunrise and copied from Gandalf, but you see the horse armor looks amazing, you see the sunrise. Somehow the writers knew where the village is. The whole night from their 3 boats to the village. They knew it perfectly. Don't know why, but okay. And then in the meanwhile, Ada enters the house where everything happens. And like a sword will build it probably. It's kind of the same from the don't know how, kind of the other elves around Galadriel in the beginning of the show, but it's kind of infected, kind of sick, and looks pretty cool. And I really hope that he will use it. He's kind of trapped, but in the end he escapes. So yeah, we will probably see a few fight scenes with this like that weapon. If you want to see me build it, say it, and I build it. And then he obviously wants this here, so he tries to force Arondir, and to kind of give his words more pressure, he even that this was pretty cool, he didn't say anything, but the orcs kind of understood, okay, now we have to kill a few people to kind of force it. But there's this scene where kind of the orc has a sword and is about to stab the human, and he's not kind of having his shoulder or anything, and kind of he's literally having like this and going with his sword like that, and the human is like, if somebody would come with a sword to me and this sword is coming, I would go back. But yeah, that's personal preference. If you want to stay there and get stabbed, okay. And then we come to the reason why I make this video, because it was so good. I was so happy that this happened. We know this situation. We know that Ada is not allowed to get this. Arondir probably even knew that this is a key and that it will activate something terrible. In the end, we see what's happening. And so he knows, okay, this is worst case. And it comes to killing Bronwyn. Theo loves his mother / sister. I think it's more brother-sister relationship, but doesn't matter. He wants to save her. She's very important to him. For Arondir, Bronwyn is important too. He loves her. This elvish-human relationship, like it, very cool. But he, even though main character, I'm that perfect and blah blah blah, he goes realistically. He says, no, this is too important. We have to die. We have to sacrifice Bronwyn, and probably all other people have to die. We are not allowed to give the dagger to him, and this was so good. Very cool. But Theo does it, and yeah, this was. I mean, I would have done this too if it was my mother. So this was very realistic, but same, very cool. And I actually watched it 2 times. The first time I kind of didn't see that Ada gives the dagger to Waldreg, because in the end when Waldek is stabbing it in, I kind of thought, hey, how does he know how this functions and what is he doing there? But apparently Ada explained him everything, and he didn't care about the other humans, but he was really kind of a pawn of him. When I saw it the second time, I understood, okay, he gives it to him because it's like in a millisecond, like Waldek, come here, I have a task for you. And the viewer won't understand that he now gets the dagger, and that will cause the main trouble in the end. So yeah. And then the riders arrive, big fights, really cool fight scenes and stuff, blah blah blah. Not logic that they found the village. Yeah, let's ride in that direction or in that direction. Just imagine how they didn't show how they landed and how they got everything out and stuff. Not important, but arriving there and the horizon comes closer. Galadriel says, "Oh, I see it," and then suddenly Cenedril says, "Oh, now I see it too." And then getting the horses out, and then kind of Queen and the other people kind of thinking, okay, where are we going now? Yeah, but they arrive at the village and cool fight scene, and this one dude loses his helmet and shows his hair, and it's like, yeah, I'm a more important soldier than the other because I have a function, but so I lose my helmet so you remember my face, but okay. And father gets saved and stuff, and yeah. Elendil is carrying a very accurate helmet with these red things. J.R. Tolkien describes the helmet. Really appreciated this. Very cool that they put attention to those details from the book. The more accuracy from the books, the better. Obviously, like, do it. Read the books and then kind of do the show, and if Tolkien is describing something, then make it like he said. It's his world, it's not yours. Then Galadriel almost gets shot, and the arrows flying, and she's like, okay, I'm an elf, I go in defense mode, and she's like, whoop, and kind of dodges the helmet and then swings her sword. Pretty weird move, and thinking that armor weighs something. First, when I first saw the first pics months ago, I thought, okay, this is an elvish armor made out of cool elvish metal and stuff, but it's from the humans, so it weighs, so it has some metal and doing this stuff. Yeah, okay. Then we have a ridiculous scene with Isildur. He's standing on a hill watching the battle with the queen. He has no sword, he has no nothing, and he was kind of not a soldier, then he was working with the horses at the boat and so on, and now he kind of is the main joker, and the queen is talking directly to him. Don't know why this is, and they waited till the battle was like 10 minutes or whatever, and then she's suddenly saying, now you go and you save your father. This was like so weird. Like, why does he has now this main function, joker, whatever, didn't understand it. And then a horse gets cut, and I'm like, kill as many orcs and humans and whatever, I don't care, but don't hurt animals, don't cut horses. I know it's very realistic, horses in battles and so on lost their feet and got everything, and really, but don't. And then the battles goes on, blah blah blah, and the dagger, they think Ada has it, obviously, and Ada rides away. And this is now very important because oh, it hurts. Ada is going, okay, I'm out of here, ciao ciao, I have the dagger now, I'm pretending to have the dagger now, I will ride away. Galadriel sees this and follows, and then Halbrand takes his spear and follows. So 3 people running away, not in a circle from the village or whatever. Ada simply wants to go away and goes in one direction. Galadriel follows, and then Halbrand follows. Very important, remember that, I'll come to this later. And while Galadriel is leaving, she does another move. This time it's kind of a spin whatever, and she's not dodging an arrow but in spear, and I'm like, okay, she's good in dodging things, cool. Galadriel is kind of activating Nitro because she talks to the horse, lays her hand on and says whatever, and now you go faster. And I'm like, Ada is an elf too, or he was at least, so he should know these things as well. So the horse of him is kind of racist, that it says, no, you are an evil elf and or you don't say the words to me, blah, 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 but whatever. But like that, Galadriel is faster and gets to Elrond. Again, Halbrand riding behind them. Then it gets ridiculous. I can't understand how the editors, the premiere, the actors, everyone that is working on this didn't see this and thought, hey, that's pretty stupid. You have a shot of a forest and Ada is riding in, and very small, like the scene image is like this, and the riders are like this, and forests everywhere, and the Ada is riding in and Galadriel is coming behind him. And we remember Halbrand started riding later after them, and now suddenly he's coming from the exact opposite side and then taking Ada down and stuff. And I know, again, for the plot, and it doesn't make it worse, and you still enjoy it and everything, I know all this. Same time, it kind of triggers me that nobody's paying attention to those details. Like, they could have made that they are arriving at the cliff and that there's no escape for Ada, and so that there's logic reason why now they come to a clash. Or they could have made that they are riding through something that forces them to go in an angle, and then from the other angle Halbrand is coming, so that they are kind of forced to run back or anything, but they are simply saying then Halbrand is taking down Ada's horse and with his spear, and he's like Galadriel kind of going from there. I'm like, if I would be a horse, like the horse is kind of riding and the spear is kind of getting in, and if the horse would, it would break so like there's no version of this that the horse gets shrink down, and they purposefully then show that the horse got up again, so Halbrand is kind of the good guy. He didn't hurt the horse, but at the same time we all think he's Sauron, yeah, kind of divided. I am pro Sauron. We had this scene where he breaks the arm at Numenor, where he kind of has this crazy face, and plus, if you think about it, who else could it be? Like, from all other characters, all other people, it's definitely nobody else is Sauron. And so we got two options: either Sauron didn't appear yet, or it's Sauron. So yeah, we'll think about it. And what I started with in the video, the gauntlet from Ada. He has one hand has no gauntlet and the other one, and he kind of wants to go to the pretended dagger. And 50 or 50, will I use my gauntlet hand to take it or my normal hand? I will choose the normal hand. Spear, okay. And then Halbrand really wants to kill him, and a few minutes later Galadriel wants to kill him, and each one stops each other, so they switched complete positions from actually killing the second main villain within minutes. And that was like poor story writing. Like, Halbrand, yes, maybe we don't know what he did to him, and we don't know if he's pretending, if he's Sauron or not, or so on, but Galadriel as an elf, it is not logic that an elf goes after emotion this much. Yes, her brother got killed, yes, she has anger, yes, she has like stuff, and she is emotional and so on, but you wouldn't kill the elf later with the knife and then she's slicing him kind of a little bit, kind of you next time use a shaver when you're having your beard, and but yeah. Then we got a deep talk time between Galadriel and Ada, and I like this. I also like the setting, like the lighting from like the scene. I kind of got vibes from Vikings, where Lagertha and King Harald are chilling in the prison, and where King Harald is prisoned and Galadriel is coming in, and they are then talking, and then yeah, you know, if you know what's happening then. And it was kind of weird getting reminded in that scene between Galadriel and Ada. Yeah, okay. Then next thing I remarked was suddenly Bonwin is healed again. She's smiling, she's holding her shoulder, but Arrow's gone, and Elp medicine helped apparently, and fire burning, and now I'm not ill, I'm not sweating, I'm not nothing, okay. And Halbrand gets asked if he is the king, and he says yes and smiles friendly, and that's apparently enough. So everyone cheers and says, yeah, you are king now, very cool, because you have this sign here, we trust you, you don't have to prove it or anything, it's just like that. Good, okay. Then the next funny thing was Theo kind of is sad or angry with himself that he didn't want to sacrifice Bonwin, that he gave the dagger away, and Aronde is talking to him and says, nothing wrong, blah blah blah, and Theo is like, doing this, it felt strong, and I was like, oh, apparently this is a venom sword, like venom, we can do whatever we want, and I will make you strong, and it's black, it yeah, they got inspired by Venom, let's say it that way, I'm assuming. And then Valdrak activates water mode. Click, we see a waterfall, and I got Ice Age vibes, where the water drips down, and I think the second part, where kind of the meltdown and water down, pretty got reminded to that. And then, yeah, was another stupid scene with Elendil and his son, Isildur and Elendil, with Elendil and Isildur, where they talk about the horse which got cut, and you have to think that they spent their whole life together. It's his father, okay, and they trained together, and they fought before. Never the Numenors never were in a battle before, I think, but they obviously learned all these things. They ride it together, they trained together, and so on. And now suddenly, son realizes, oh, you learned all these things from your mother, and oh, the horse is in pain because of me, as if in all these years of training before he never fell from that horse, and the horse didn't went in pain because his rider was in pain. Like, and yeah, I can imagine that the father son, that they didn't do that much before, but they knew each other in Numenor, and they had free time together. He wasn't always the official leader there. He was at home, and there they ride it together. So yeah, that was logic that they never talked about this, I just want to say. And then very last reference thing I got for you that I found was then the end, volcano explosion. I got very hot Jurassic vibes. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever, where you get the volcano and then the flashes, and very cool scene. Like you see the village, and kind of did they build Mordor out there? Is this the creation of Mordor now? And clouds coming and flashes and really, really cool, like that. Yeah, that were my thoughts about it. If you watched until here, you know that I pay attention to detail. It doesn't make the show worse, it actually improves it, in my opinion. Because kind of, if you have not too many things that don't make sense, if you are more than 50% in appreciate and wow and cool and creative and new ideas, very good and blah blah blah, then that's a good thing. And this definitely was. You see the budget, you see the character development. Each episode builds up and builds up, and now characters get connected, and it's amazing. Really like it. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow, actually this night, I'm recording this. Next episode will come out. We'll definitely watch it. And if you're interested in me kind of then saying these kind of weird, more detailed point of view later, I would wait a few days so I don't kind of destroy the feeling watching it the first time. But yeah, if you're interested in that, then tell me. If not, no problem. If you only want to see me build these things, then I'll upload another video where I kind of do the other style of the other builds yet. Yeah, but meanwhile talking, you now have seen me, and I will skip it so that kind of the video is very long but has now the same length. So now it should be at the very end of the build. You should now have seen a lot of footage of how I built it. I will show you all kind of important scenes, what I did, and in future videos you will get also another camera of me from above, so that you literally see everything, and then you can really rebuild it. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Hope you liked it. See you next time. Bye bye.